Jim Forrest, everybody! Thank you, Matt. Now, before I get started in earnest, I'd just like to make sure that a friend of mine is here, my friend Michael. He said he was going to come see the set. Is he in there? Is he in there? Oh, there you are. There you are. Right. Okay, good. That's the mic check done. Oh. Yeah, we're just getting started. Right. I couldn't decide on my favourite cravat to wear for tonight's show. In the end, it was a tie. I recently got some work as a harp player. Had to pull some strings. I had a date last Valentine's Day. It was lovely. It was sweet. I really enjoyed it. So the next day, I ate the rest of the planet. I was wary of doing this gig here because I'm irrationally terrified of non-alcoholic lagers. I have a faux beer. I meant to say, by the way, I'm sorry for using my phone. I know it's unprofessional, but I've got a terrible memory. I'm always forgetting things. Like, I was writing an essay on Italian food, and I forgot to cite my sources. But different comedians have different techniques and coping mechanisms. I hear vaping's pretty good if you want to blow off steam. You do hear some scary stories about comedians treating their audience like therapists. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. There's no need to be a Freud. There's a couple of unspoken rules to being a comedian, like, for example... and also there's... It can be hard to know where to look for things to talk about on stage. I tried writing a joke about cricket. I was stumped. I used to have a joke in here about the Royal Mail, but I always messed up the delivery. No, for my material, I like to use newspapers. Just going to put that there. Here's a few examples. Right. Mona Lisa found innocent on all charges. Turns out she was framed. Duracell Bunny stole a box of AAAs. Charged for 5 years, 8 counts of battery. CIA invades Sesame Street, installs puppet government. Creator of Strongbow Dark Fruits, charged with insider trading. Woman who steals box of calendars, gets 35 years. And musician arrested for bashing someone over the head with a cello. Police say he had a history of violence. Okay, yeah, all the crime stuff does tend to get a bit grim. Let's find some more cheerful stuff. Leading manufacturer of cribs for baby girls announces controversial new product. Customers expect a boycott. New cryptocurrency transferred by radio waves. Economists say it's a sound investment. Bowling alley owner refuses to comment on repeated strikes. Injured horse now in stable condition. 8 months pregnant conservative politician goes into labour. And Oppenheimer movie makes $900 million at the worldwide box office. Critics are surprised. They expected a huge bomb. Right, that's enough of the news. I also like to use my friends for material. I've got a lot of friends. I'll tell you about some of them. I've got one friend who is in the military. I asked her what her rank was. She said it's private. I said, fine, don't tell me. Yeah, kind of rude, I know. I once found a pack of playing cards, asked her what I should do with it. She said, deal with it. And when I opened up to her about my fear of apple trees, she told me to grow a pair. Then I asked her for advice on how to open a jammed door. She said I could shove it. Yeah, we don't talk anymore. I've got a friend who plays drums for a band. One day, he snuck a second drum solo into their set list. There were repercussions. My Scottish friend died, left me some of his clothes. Now I have survivor's kilt. I actually lent those clothes to another friend, so he has kilt by association. There's a friend of mine who's a maths teacher. I asked her to teach me how to plot a graph, but she refused. Guess you got to draw the line somewhere. Another one of my friends writes books about herbs and spices. She's just released her latest after years of anticipation. It's about time. I know a guy who's a snake charmer, but recently he hasn't been able to get his cobra to stand up straight. I think he has erectile dysfunction. 2 of my friends tried to convince me to go spelunking with them. I didn't want to at first, but eventually I caved. These same friends once took me camping. It was intense. One night I heard them having sex. That was fucking intense. I should say, by the way, I'm sorry for using my phone. I know it's not very professional, but my memory is absolute rubbish. I forget things all the time. Like, I forgot to pay my exorcist, and my house got repossessed. I also forget the names of things. See, I told Matt I was going to transition between joke topics by talking about one of those two-wheeled personal transporters that you control by leaning. He said, "You mean a Segway?" So, speaking of Segways, I'm Jewish. There's a stereotype that Jewish people are rich, and I can honestly see where it comes from. Our religion has made a lot of profits. Unlike atheism, which is a non-profit organization. I've read the Torah. Personally, I wasn't impressed. The character writing is dreadful, although Noah has a great arc. We observe Yom Kippur by not eating for 25 hours, and, sometimes we get hangry and we lose our temper. All that fast and furious. There's a universal law of cause and effect in Judaism, and, that's calm. But there's one in Hinduism too, and that's karma. Anyway, I must have done something wrong, because I've been really unlucky lately. I found out there's a hole in my wallet. I didn't realize at first, but then the penny dropped. I bought a new Tinder calendar, completely useless. Months and months with no dates. I went abseiling, what a letdown. Tried to start my own newspaper, it folded. I took a breathalyzer test, I blew it. Tried to donate blood, but that was all in vain. I took a shortcut to the hospital, they said, "Mate, just put a plaster on it." Even my mum's having a bad time. She used to work at that same hospital, helping deliver babies, but last week she turned 50 and she quit, had a midlife crisis. That's about it from me, folks. But before I go, I just want to say, I'm sorry for using my phone. I know, it's so unprofessional, but I just have an awful memory. I'm constantly forgetting things. Like, I was meant to bring a chair upstage that I was going to use for my act, but I forgot it. That's how I ended up doing stand-up comedy. Thank you, you've been wonderful. It's been James Morris, good night.